If anybody tries to say to me horror movies aren't good anymore, there's no fresh and new ideas, I'm gonna tell them to fuck off and go see Oddity. Because let me tell you, I can't even compare this movie to anything. There is nothing else in existence that I can even compare this to. No other movie. This movie was fucking phenomenal. Short version. This movie was so tense and so atmospheric, you could literally feel the anxiety the whole time. So, like, the visuals were dark, they were creepy, they were eerie, but on top of that, the sound design was probably like my favorite thing about this movie. Like, the sounds and the music in this movie just fills you with such dread, and then pair it with the scenes and like the imagery and the fucking character design. Like, I feel like my heart was racing for like 90% of this movie. And while this movie does have a good amount of jump scares, I personally did not feel like they were cheap jump scares. Like, they were timed well and they were used to move the plot along, not to just like be in your face and scare you. I'm not gonna lie, this movie was freaky as hell. It didn't scare me per se, but it definitely creeped me out to the point where like I came home after this movie and was showering and kept like peeking out of my shower curtain. And again, while it didn't necessarily scare me in the moment, I am like 99% sure that a girl behind me was fucking crying. Dead ass. I saw this movie in the theater. I swear to God, I heard a girl behind me crying. If she was not full blown crying, I definitely heard her whimper at least a few times. Again, the plot is super original and fresh, and there is literally no other movie that I've seen that I could even think to compare it to. I will say there was a plot point that I thought was kind of predictable. I'm not going to give it away because I don't want to give away any spoilers. But even with the predictable part, it went in a direction that like I thought it was going and then I didn't think it was going. I'll explain at the end. It's super unique, but at the same time, it's very simple. It's not too convoluted. I think it's perfectly done. It unfolds well. The main actress, Gwilym Lee, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm sorry. She plays two characters and she fucking killed it. And of course, like the main point of this movie, the wooden man, like it's simple almost, but it makes you feel so fucking uneasy even when he's just like sitting there unmoved. Like, even scenes where he's not even the focal point and he's just in the background, like, you are fucking locked on him to make sure that motherfucker does not move. My only gripe is that there is a character in this movie that you really want to get theirs, and you don't necessarily see that happen. And I guess that part just left me wanting more, but I understand why they did it the way they did it. Overall, this movie gets a 9.5 out of 10 for me. One of my favorites of the year. Fucking loved it. I'm gonna give away a spoiler and explain what I was talking about before, so go away if you haven't seen it. I knew like right off the rip that the husband was involved in some way. I will say my original prediction was wrong because I thought that the guy with the glass eye did kill her and the husband just put him up to it. But like I knew that motherfucker was involved. But even knowing he was involved did not like take away from the story for me. Like even though I was able to predict that, I still liked it. And again, it went in a direction that like I still was not expecting. Like I was not expecting her to die at fucking all. Loved this one. Phenomenal. Stunning.